From the opening kickoff to the final buzzer, Whitewater Community Television is the unofficial home of Northeastern High School sports and events. Follow the Knights all year long with football, boys and girls basketball, volleyball, wrestling, baseball, and softball. Plus, celebrate the moments that matter with the Senior Showcase, the Community Awards, and the Academic Excellence Celebration. Watch on Comcast Channel 20 WETV and stream at wgtv.vibit.com. WCTV, your front row seat at Northeastern High School.
Welcome to Season 6 of Knightline Live, brought to you by some sponsor that's out there that wants to send us some money. So, hey, if you're interested in sponsoring Knightline Live, drop us a line to Rick Fletcher, myself, and you're probably saying, where's Rick? Well, Rick's on special assignment. He's covering the New England Patriots for us this winter for the first 2 months, and he'll be sending us some coverage of the training camps and also some coverage of football games and so forth. So we'll catch Rick on and off, and he'll be back with us in October. First of all, on behalf of Knightline Live and the Knights Broadcasting Network, we extend our deepest condolences to the Lynn family for Officer Town Marshal Brad Fisher, who was killed just almost 2 weeks ago. Such a tragedy. The impressive thing about all of it is how the Lynn community showed up and showed their support to the family and to the Lynn Fire Department and to the Lynn Police Department. So with that being said, our deepest condolences. Fall sports, well, football game will be at Earlham College against Eastern Hancock. That game had to be moved because of some construction going on here, and that game will still be at 7 o'clock. It'll be at Earlham College under the lights over there, and we will be having that game for you on the Knights Broadcasting Network. Also, volleyball matches, because of construction in the high school, those games will be played in the middle school gym this season. So when you come to the games, just know where you're supposed to go. When you go to the high school football games, you're going to notice some improvements out there, more seating, a little more concrete, new track. So that's going to be very nice. So tonight's show is back to school, and we know what happens when it's back to school. There's all kinds of changes, some state laws that we got to abide by now. We're going to talk about that. And when we come back, we're going to have our special guest will be Superintendent Jennifer O'Brien, High School Principal John Markward, and our middle school principal, Mr. Smith. So we'll be looking for them. So let's take a quick break and come back, and we'll get on with the show. At Kate's Family Eye Care, we value a family-friendly atmosphere, offering high-quality eye exams. Our expert staff utilizes the latest techniques in eye care. We have a large selection of affordable glasses that are unique to our area. We are proud supporters of the Northeastern Knights and wish all the teams the best of luck.
Go Knights!
When the professional's vehicle gets sick, they go to All Around Auto Repair and Sales, located in Fountain City. Their SAE certified technicians work on foreign, domestic, and those fun diesels. Work van not feeling good? Or maybe the family car? And don't forget about the Weekend Warrior. Go to All Around Auto, 408 US 27 Fountain City. It's good medicine for your car.
Looking for some good local barbecue? Well, look no further, because Ann and the Pigs has arrived. We got tips, ribs, chicken, and our fan favorite, pulled pork sundae. You hungry yet? Well, check out our website at annandthepigs.com to find out where our truck is located next. And if you miss our truck, don't worry, you can cater with us year-round by using our website as well. Ann and the Pigs, bringing tasty where it's needed.
Do you have a big event coming up soon? Dejo Photos has you covered. Check us out on Facebook. We are professional photographers who strive to capture all of your special moments, such as family portraits, senior photos, live action sports, graduations, and so much more. If you don't think photos are important, wait until they are all you have left. Contact us via email at info@dejophotos.com or call us at 765-277-0047. Dejo Photos, capturing memories one photo at a time.
From our trucks to their lunch trays, to your local hospital, to your favorite pub, and to your kitchen table. For more than 60 years, Dot Foods and Dot Transportation have been stocking the shelves of your hometown. Sure, we've grown a lot, but at our core, we're still small town, family run businesses that care about our communities and the people who keep us running. Join the Dot family today and be part of.
Welcome back to Knightline Live, and our guest tonight on the far end down there is Principal John Markward and then Superintendent Jennifer O'Brien and middle school principal Clayton Smith. Everybody, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Just got through with the orientation, and what a crowd. Place was packed over there. I wasn't sure what was going on for a while. Well, let's just jump right into things here that people can see from the road. Construction delays. The gym and the track and football field, what are we looking on that, Ms. O'Brien?
Well, you just get right to it there, Jerry, don't you?
Hey!
Yeah. So, with the construction on the gym, what we found, there were some issues with the brick. We knew the brick was going to have to be removed. The blueprints of the original construction of the gym don't match the actual construction. So we thought there was a base under the brick. We found out the brick was like right on top of the dirt. So I think that's some of the urban legend of, it's built on a swamp, it's sinking. There is some truth to that in the brick, that was laying right on the dirt. But what we found is once that brick was removed, there were years of basically water that was trapped in between the brick and the walls. And so in finding out that that was the original delay when we shut the gym down, just so we could have the engineers better assess, determine how to fix it. So they came up with a plan. The plan was to be executed this summer. And we expected the gym to be back open for the start of school. Then what we didn't anticipate was that plan failed. And so when they tried to put in anchors to hold the steel beams just to reinforce the walls, again, the years of water damage, there are some spots that are soft and thing. It's not going to fall in or anything like that, but we want it to be reinforced. So we went back and asked basically for a second opinion. So we had another engineer come out, and again, that takes time, planning, drawings, ordering. And so we're to the point now where they're going to have to run some grout. So basically what that means is about every 4 feet, they're going to be pouring concrete down in those blocks just to create a solid base that will be able to anchor the steel beams into. So unfortunately, because of that delay and having to get the second opinion, it takes about 6 to 8 weeks for them to go all the way around the gym to put those reinforcements in. So
Probably not much different than water at your house, not draining away from the building, getting caught in there, and that cinder block gets soft and mushy and flakes off. Well,
yeah.
So,
but I'm optimistic that, I apologize, and I hate that we've had the delays, but I just want to make sure that it's done right, and that we're just not like putting a Band-Aid or covering up the problem. And so we want a finished project that we're going to be proud of and that will be here for years to come. And then, that was, a little disheartening. I was very excited because the track was on schedule. We had, if you saw, the track was completely torn out, and a new curb was put in. And the day before the paver was scheduled to do his part, he quit. We spent time, we called like 20 different places to try to find somebody to come in and do the paving, and our friends at Milestone graciously agreed. They do, when I say graciously agreed, they had they're working on a project that is a little bigger, than ours. I-70.
I mean, I-70 is a bigger project than our track. How dare they?
But they graciously squeezed us in. They did a fantastic job. If you've been out there, it looks great.
It looks great.
But it did put us about 2 weeks behind, and so then we had to delay and reschedule the track guy that will come and put the final rubber coating on it, do the lines, and that kind of thing. So that puts us back to the 17th. The first home football game is August, 21st. And again, very thankful, for our community. We contacted Earlham. They're allowing us to host and play. I'm excited. It's a great facility.
Oh, yeah.
I think it'll be fun. I think for the kids to play in a different venue. So we're excited about that. I anticipate then our next home football game, I believe September 4th. We should be back on track and back at the track.
No pun intended.
Yeah. So in the meantime, after the track was paved, they were able. We had created a drive for all the machinery to get to it. So as soon as that was finished, they went to work right away to get the land graded. The cement pads have been poured. The new bleachers were delivered on Saturday. So Monday through Thursday of this week, you'll see some trucks out there. When I drove by earlier, the track, they already have everything out and they're working on the installation. So I just keep telling myself good things come to those who wait, because we have definitely waited.
The best laid plans.
Yes.
Always something happens. And it's just that residual effect. And John, I'm sure that because of the gym, now you've got classes, and Clayton, you're involved in this too, that you're having to manage, since we're only one gym in the the middle school gym. How did that work?
So with our counselors, they did some great work in the TIC. So our PE teacher for the high school, he'll be very health class heavy the first semester. So that way we've switched periods 4 and periods 8. Instead of having PE in the first semester and health second semester, we've flipped those. So there's really one period of conflict that we have, but it should work out just fine. Fantastic.
In the middle school, how are you on your stuff then with that?
So we're pretty much in the same spot. I mean, as Mr. Markworth just explained, we worked collaboratively to make sure that the gym space would be available for a PE teacher, and then switching some things around that we may not have normally have done for the high school on the high school's end. They worked well with us so that we can still have a PE class, and then we'll be using that for TBRI time as well.
All right, cool.
It's a shared space for TBRI time.
It'll be tougher the first couple of weeks just because, usually the track is our backup. And especially when the weather's nice, a lot of the gym classes go outside. So
absolutely.
Everybody's going to be playing tennis at the start of the school year.
Well, we might have the next
they'll have lots of practice.
or somebody out there, great tennis player. Well, that's good. And to use the tennis courts, why not? It's a beautiful time of the year for it. Let's talk a little bit about start times. The school times have changed, and I personally like it. And
So a couple of things have changed. One, we pushed back the start of the school year. So we're starting later than a lot of our counterparts.
And I like that too.
And
You're doing great.
Yeah, and part of that was just in looking at the calendar, if we would have started that first week in August like we typically do, the way Memorial Day fell this year, and actually next year, we would have been out a whole week before Memorial Weekend. We usually like to plan a week in between the end of school and graduation. Didn't really want to have graduation on Memorial Weekend.
Yeah.
So it just works out, and so far, I haven't had a lot of complaints. I
So-
think people like the weather better in August than the weather we have in May.
I agree with that. It's less lot wet and it's
Yeah.
not a lot nicer.
Yeah.
So, John, what about, so our start times now is gonna be what, 8 o'clock in the morning and
Yep.
drop off at,
High school's 8 o'clock, drop off, doors open at 7:45. Then high school, then we start at 8, and then dismissals at 3:05.
at 3:05, okay? Now, bus riders, Clayton, the buses are gonna start dropping off in front here at what, 7:40 in the morning?
So we're reversing the flow as what we've been used to in the past. So instead of heading north, they're going to be coming in off of 27 and then heading south and then dropping off in front of the building, then heading on up to the elementary school.
So basically, there's.
Starting at about 7:40, 7:45.
So basically, here, the drive in front of the school, there's no northbound traffic that's gonna be allowed.
Right.
Okay, take note of that, no northbound traffic on that. Now, the southbound traffic, is that just gonna be school buses?
Correct.
And so the school buses will just be southbound. Now, and I know some people drop their kids off here at door 1, and that will still be permitted, or will it not?
We prefer not, just because we have the process of
Okay.
the south end of the building to use that.
All right.
So
And then when you leave out here, now I understand that there'll have to be some because of some of the, our special education area, they'll drop off. Then when they leave, they've got to go right. No left-hand traffic leaving the lot here, so we don't get that big bottleneck down there. And, then the other thing I understand is the buses, when they'll go, they won't be like this long train we've had in the past. It's gonna be as they are, and they'll be going out that the exit that we normally send everybody out. And our new SRO will be out there, stop traffic, so we can keep the buses moving to where they're supposed to go.
yep, as the buses roll up at door 23, they'll drop off kids, and once those kids are off the bus, then they'll go ahead and move on.
That's gonna be,
Yeah.
that's good. I like it.
Yeah, so back on the earlier start time and ending time. So there were a couple things that went into making that decision in that process. One is the elementary day is a little bit shorter than the middle school and high school, and we're trying to limit the amount of time that elementary kids have to be on the bus waiting. So by dropping off at the high school and middle school first, then going to the elementary, and then in the afternoon, it'll be reversed.
Well, I can see that, because the elementary kids, they'll start getting fidgety and,
Right.
and they're wanting to get home, and I can understand
Yeah.
that. So that's probably a good idea
Yeah.
in the long run of everything.
Yeah, the other thing we ran into is that we were out later than a lot of other school districts, and so it did impact like FFA and some of our academic teams. We would have to request like the last time slot because it would take us longer to get there because of the later time. So in having a new conference for athletics, that gives us a little bit more time in the afternoon. We also found that we had students that work after school. 4 o'clock tends to be like the
Yes.
start time. And it was very difficult for them to get out of the parking lot and get to work on time. We want students to be safe. We don't want anybody, rushing to get to work. So
Well, yeah.
we're gonna start earlier and get out earlier.
And you want them to be responsible and be at work on time. We want them to be
Right.
on class on time, why wouldn't you want them to be at work on time? And if someone's hustling, that's usually when something happens that we don't want to have happen with it. So, let's move to the elephant in the room here.
I thought that was the construction.
No.
Oh, okay.
This is the big elephant, cell phones. And that's a state law now. It's
Okay.
not Fountain City, it's not Northeastern, it's not Webster, it's not, this is a state law, and every school system is supposed to abide by it. So, Mr. Markward, would you like to talk how the high school is going to handle this?
So essentially, it was Indiana code before, but then they've really tightened it down. So essentially, when kids walk in the building, their cell phones either they leave them in their car if they're a driver, they go in their locker, they stay in their locker from the beginning of the day until the end of the day. There's no cell phones at lunch. There's no cell phones at passing periods. It's in there all day. Ideally, every kid turns it off as well. But yeah, it's out of sight, out of mind. That's what they won't be in the classrooms at all. The only exception we would have is if a student has diabetes and uses that, but for a medical reason.
Yeah.
But other than that, the kids won't have the phones on them at all.
Well,
And it includes smartwatches too.
yeah, smart
That's now in the
watches.
law, yeah.
Yeah, in that, and also the glasses that have the little
Meta
cameras.
glasses, correct.
Yeah, and I've never seen one before, but I'm sure that we have students with them.
Correct.
And with that, now, is the middle school, are we any different?
So Jerry, this new law doesn't impact this middle school as much because we've always had that policy that students have to keep their phones either off and then locked in their locker or at home. So this also, of course, goes through with any kind of personal electronic device
Yep.
they have to keep at home or in their locker. So.
Well, I know the big argument that I hear from parents, and they're like, well, what if there's an emergency? And I always look at them and say, well, 1976, I had an emergency, and the phone in the room rang, and I went to the phone and talked, and then went to the office. And it was that.
And I think the protocol
Yeah.
still is in place where we want parents to call the office,
Yeah.
and then the office can handle the situation
Yeah.
as it sees fit. Because we want to know, like, we don't want to be shocked when the parents would directly call a student and then the office is in the dark, like we don't
Right.
know what's going on.
Yeah, and I understand that, and so in communication, even the old-fashioned way. In fact, I still have a rotary phone at home. I don't use it, but I have one. And the kids look at that, and they're like, "What in the world's that?" I'm like, "That's a rotary phone. You'll know what those are." So, what's the penalty? I mean, obviously, if you have a law, there's got to be a penalty.
So first one, parent, if it's confiscated first time, parents have to come pick it up at the end of the day. And the second time, if it's confiscated second time, then that's where discipline starts. And so, but still, parents have to come and get the phone. We will not release it to the student at the end of the day.
And I assume that, and the same in there, and I assume that that's a before 4 o'clock pickup, normal business hours.
Normal business hours.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, see, and I like that part, that we've set a standard here, that this is the way it's going to be, and we're going to go with it. It's not 3 strikes, when you get there. We're just going to start off right here, which I think is a good thing, because it's going to impact the student much more, and they'll think about before they do things.
We worked with cell phones 2 years ago where we started not putting them in the classroom, and just even one of the teachers complimented on the student engagement went up very quickly. They're not checking to see how many Snapchats they get or what, they're checking their reels. It changes the way the kids are thinking about it, and they're off of them more. So
Well, and you probably see it more in the middle school, in that 6th grade, that engagement, that lack of distraction to a
Yeah.
cell phone on test scores and so forth like that
Yeah.
than we had in the past.
I think the level of engagement is a huge factor, and the fact that you don't have those distractions in the classroom, they can focus on what the teacher is doing, and the curiosity comes back into the equation, so that they're wondering, what are we going to do next, instead of wondering who's texting me on my phone, or what 1,000th notification of the day that I'm getting.
Yeah. What the ice cream flavor of the month is down at the Dairy Queen, and all that. So, do we have any more items here on the cell phones we want to?
Well, the only thing I think I would add, even though it is a law that we obviously have to abide by, it's really not a big change in our practice.
Correct.
We were kind of kicking it old school, not as old school as a rotary phone, Jerry. But we did have basically like the calculator pouches. And so students would come to a classroom, you drop your, your number 12 and your phone goes in slot number 12 and you pick it up when you leave.
Yep.
So,
Jerry,
again,
I
it's
have a rotary phone in my house too. So,
Do you?
Yeah, I have to
They're so
throw that in
good.
there.
Like, well, my other phone I used to have, I had to throw it away. The string broke, and the 2 cans on there, and it was awful.
oh, yeah.
But you remember, I mean, back when I was in school, that was a pretty amazing thing that you could talk in a can, and the vibration through the string, the person on the other end could hear it, and that was, that was very interesting back in the,
When you were talking to Moses?
when I was talking to Moses
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and chiseling the
Yeah,
old.
and I don't want to get
stuff.
us too off track, Jerry, but you and I are old enough to remember the days of the party line.
Absolutely.
That was entertainment itself, but that might be another show in itself.
That's a
but-
whole other show
yeah,
right there.
yeah.
We'll get Rick on that one.
Yeah. But I think as they mentioned with the cell phones, it does also include personal devices, so students are not bringing, their own iPads or laptops, those kind of things, to school as well. We are transitioning from iPads to Chromebooks this
Yep.
year, so all students will get the Chromebooks. They're ready to be distributed the first day of school.
And that was the next thing here.
Okay.
So great lead in. So why did we leave the iPad and go to the Chromebook?
Part of it is just as we have more opportunities and we're looking at career readiness, kids need some typing skills, and there's nothing wrong with the iPad. I mean, it has some great features, but you're more likely to work in the workplace, with a laptop or a computer than you are an iPad. So
I'd also have to think that the Chromebooks are more, I want to put this, secure.
they are, and especially when it comes to SAT or state testing, the test is really designed for a laptop. You can do it on the iPad, but I think it's more user-friendly on a Chromebook.
Now, Mr. Markwood, does going to the Chromebook, does that change anything with the high school as far as anything that you guys are going to be doing?
No, I mean, it won't change much. I mean, we can still have some same features that we had before. The kids still have access to what they need to. It's just in a better format. Instead of a kid trying to type on a screen with 2 fingers, we've got the keyboard now where they'll be able to use that to better themselves. Until what Mrs. O'Brien said, when you come to workforce, iPads are more of like a tablet-based versus a PC-based. And so that PC side is what they'll see in the workforce a lot more than what they'll see in the tablet side.
Well, and that's a good thing that, that preparation to go out into the workforce versus some of the other stuff. I think that the schools have changed their avenue of being more after the school than right now at the school. The thinking down the road in 2 years when they're at college and they got to type, or in a job situation and they got to type or be able to use this. I think that's a great thing that the schools are doing a little bit, shifting a little bit. So in the middle school, Clayton, you guys went to the Chromebooks also.
Right.
Any change for you all?
Not really. I mean, they'll still be able to use, Canvas and Harmony, and they'll still be able to use Hall Pass, and they still have all the functionalities, but I feel like, but I hate to be, redundant here, but it still gives them the practice that they'll need, I think, to use in a professional setting more so than an iPad would.
And I've said this a bunch, that the best class I ever had in high school was typing.
Typing. Yeah, a
I
lot of people
use
say
it
that.
every day, and it's amazing on that. So anything else on the Chromebooks or anything?
Well, I think going along with the Chromebooks, it made us look at e-learning, and so we had a lot of conversations with that as well. We did a survey back in the spring. Parents, staff were able to give feedback. We got some very valuable feedback what we found is that, like 99% of the families have internet. And so that really wasn't a barrier. The issue was more for the younger students on an e-learning day, because they may be with a grandparent, or they may be at the Boys and Girls Club, or at childcare with other children, and it was just having that support for younger students to be able to log in and do that. So had some conversations with teachers about the feedback that we received from parents, contacted the DOE, and so we are making the change. So kindergarten through second grade will not have to log, they won't have to take a device home and log in for e-learning days. So they'll have what we're calling a blizzard bag. So they'll have a bag that will have things that are appropriate for that student that they can practice and work on at home. And then in grades 3 through 12, which are tested grade levels, and from the DOE standpoint, as long as the majority of the students are participating, then we can leave that K-2 group out. And so so we're looking forward to that change, and again, grateful for the feedback we received from families, and glad we're able to help them out and make that change.
Well, Clayton, do you have anything for the good of the order from the middle school that you want to put out to our millions and millions of viewers?
Well, I just want to say to the families that are listening, to thank you so much for coming tonight. We had a tremendous turnout, and I thought from the feedback that I got from the teachers that I spoke, they were really thrilled to get the school year off on the right foot by almost the majority of or more of all of the students in each homeroom have come tonight to see their schedule, their teachers, and I think that was a true testament of the community that we teach in.
Well, that's wonderful. I mean, it was a huge crowd over there. I couldn't believe how many people was here. Mr. Mark,
Nope, and I would say that is also a change, because in the past we've always had it the night before school started, and again, we had heard from parents, that it's kind of a late evening for little ones, and a long day for staff, and so we kind of eased back into it. Did the back to school night tonight. Tomorrow we will have our back to school breakfast for our staff. We have some training in place, and then we're looking forward to seeing everybody Wednesday morning.
one other thing before I move on is I noticed that Thanksgiving now is we'll call it a 1 week break, but one day is actually an e-learning day. Is that correct? On that Monday?
Yeah.
And so the students don't have to be here for a week in the building, I
Correct.
should say, but they still got to do their e-learning on that Monday.
Yeah, so those 2 days, so the state allows schools to have 3 asynchronous days. And asynchronous means that you're doing your assignment, if you're a high schooler, you're going to be doing it on Canvas. If you're a 4th grader, it may be something that your teacher sent home. So the first asynchronous day will be the parent-teacher conference day. And then we opted to make the other 2 days the Monday and Tuesday before Thanksgiving, which does give us a full week and allows families to travel and to visit family and have that time. So
Well, that's wonderful. I think it's a great idea for that. Mr. Markward, what do you have about high school here? Anything that you want to discuss that we haven't discussed tonight?
I'm excited about some of our new teachers.
Absolutely.
Certainly with the middle school and us, we were able to capture some great staff coming in. So we have a new choir teacher, Mr. Nick Greiger. He's exciting. He brings a lot of energy. In the high school, as far as we also have a band teacher, Mr. Reed Knuth.
Now, the band did pretty doggone good,
Yes, sir.
I think, considering when he had to come into the program and all that. So, kudos.
Yep, and they got 12th at State Fair as well.
Good.
So, and then we have Mrs. Kristen Suits. She's our dual credit math teacher. That is to get a dual credit in this area, it's harder to find them, but I'm excited to have her. And then we also had Mrs. Melody Mills, who's one of our new school counselors. she comes up, she's excited. And then we had some different transitions within the building, but we've locked in some great teachers going into this year.
Now, did you have any new newbies come in?
Yeah, we brought in a new counselor, Shay Ziegler, and
Okay.
she is off to a great start as well. It's been helping us with some schedule changes and things of that nature. Of course, we also share band and choir as well with the high school, so we have some shared staff as well.
And band and choir has been such a huge staple point for Northeastern over the years, and it's good to see that it's making that run back and making that comeback and so forth. The same with FFA and all that stuff. It's great to see those programs excel. And we've got some classes in the high school, that are. I want to say the one is crime. Ken Powell's class. The kids love that class.
Yep.
It's a criminal justice type class. They love it, and he's doing a great job with that. And we've got just so many other things that are offered here at Northeastern that people don't think that's here.
Yep. One of the new things we'll add this year is work-based learning coordinator. So Mrs. Meg Hinkie will take that role on, and that's more or less to get the kids out into the community, experiencing different opportunities that they're not used to. And we know that kids are only used to knowing what their parents do, and so this with the work-based learning is getting them out. The kid wants to be a lawyer, then we try and work with a lawyer to have an internship there. Or if they want to be, Reed's been a great partner with having some internships there. So that is a new part, and the kids can get up to 3 credit hours for that. So
Wow.
3 classes can make up for that. So that's 3 credits that go towards graduation.
Well, it's always good when you have those programs. The people I know, I've had some of our students have contacted my son about being an airline pilot, and he's talked them through some things and say, here's what you want to do. You got to do this, do that to get there. And it's not just what the college says. There's once you go through it, now hey, well, you got to do this, or they're not even going to look at you anymore. Those things have changed. And the dual credit classes, I mean, what a great opportunity to have that here, because you can knock a whole year and a half off of a college, and you start thinking at $25,000, $30,000 a year. That's suddenly $40,000, $50,000 savings
Right.
in there.
With the Indiana College Core, the ICC is what we call it, up to 30 credit hours. So if you get the ICC, any state college in the state of Indiana has to accept those. So like my son going into college, he's
Yep.
already got credits already that he doesn't have to take.
Well, and that's great. I mean, that's the way it should be. We should be offering that, and not every place does, because they don't have those dual credit teachers. And when you found the one that you found, that's a good one.
Yep.
Right there. She'll do a fantastic job with that. Jennifer, anything for the good of the corporation?
No, we're looking forward to the start of the school year. I do want to say Mrs. Stevenson sends her apologies. Elementary just takes a little bit longer, especially when you have students that are going to school for the very first time. So when I came from the elementary to come over here, there were still some people lingering around. So
Yeah, that's and that'll be that way Wednesday also. There'll be kids going, I ain't getting out of the car,
Yeah.
and that's the way that's going to be, because I hear it on the radio. He won't get out, and but that's the way school is. And plus, Mom and Dad, I know you want to take pictures, but I charge $5 for me. So, and autographs are additional. But, try to get your pictures done before you go to drop kids off, so we can keep that flow moving and with that. So I think that's it.
all right, thank you for
Thank
having
you for
us.
having us.
For having us.
It's going to be a great school year. I can feel it. It's going to be, I'm going to feel like the Maytag repairman out here.
All right.
There'll be nobody around. For those of you who remember the old Maytag commercials, I'm going to be lonely out here in the Knightline and the Knights Broadcasting Network booth. So for John Markward and Jennifer O'Brien and Clayton Smith, I'm Jerry Middleton and Rick Fletcher. We'll see you soon.
Being aligned